Hey guys, how's it going? Andy here, that huge Asian guy. So what we have for you today is a interview with a very awesome girl. I work with her and I work out with her sometimes now. I love training with her. Her and her training partner Leo, who they've been lifting together. I actually don't know, but 5+ years. Anyways, her name is Susan Salazar. So if you're not familiar with her, she is an all-time world record holder in the 132-pound class and even the 145. I can't remember all her records, but I think she goes over with them in the interview. So I work with her and at Iron Rebel and at Granite. We share the same office. She is awesome to talk to. We, always chat about, training, diet, nutrition, and just general life stuff. She is hardcore to the end about her training, her dieting, recovery, all that. She is the consummate athlete and very disciplined, coming from a bodybuilding background. She's now transferred that into powerlifting and is, one of the all-time greats and will go down as so. But more than that, I think she, besides being a great lifter, she's also a great ambassador for the sport, but also very inspirational, motivational for women. She, fights for what she believes in and really hopes that, really hopes to progress women in the sport, empower them, make sure they get, equal limelight and promotion and, everything that they deserve equally as, even, on par with what the males get. So I love training with her. She is so technically sound. She never looks like she's struggling, which is, something I strive to do, is to make my lifts look very technical and very smooth and make it look like I'm not grinding or anything. So, like I said, I like training with her. It makes me want to or have to go to another level and get on her level. And her and her training partner Leo, she's the ultimate training partner, hype man. Says the right things that just gets me pumped up and motivated, much like my boy Ed. So I've joined their gym. It's called Orange County Strength Club. It's in Orange, kind of Anaheim, Orange area in Southern California. It is awesome gym for powerlifting. It's got everything you need. Every bar, like 4 ER racks, 3 deadlift platforms, a belt squat by Ludus Magnus, Matt Wenning. It's awesome. Heavy duty leg press, anything you need for powerlifting, they have it there. Monolift, every bar, like I said. So anyways, it's a 24-hour key access. You can go there anytime you want. It's a great environment. Everyone there knows the gym etiquette. When someone's lifting or doing a big lift, they all, drop what they're doing and watch them and cheer them on and spot them and, put the weights away. It's very clean. So it's just a great environment. So I've, signed up there so that I can lift with her more. And just because Kratos doesn't have as many powerlifters, and I just like to lift at different gyms, like you always know, go to different gyms and get to different environment, lift with different people. So this is just another stopping place for me to get motivation and get a different environment, different stimulus. So here's the interview. Some of it gets cut off because my battery ran out, and then I had to switch to a camera, my iPhone a different day. But also we just don't get a lot of free time, so it's very rare. So a lot of it gets cut off, but hopefully at the end you get to you get to understand different side of Susan. and appreciate all the hard work, the discipline, and just what a great person she is. She's one of the nicest people I've ever talked to, and I really enjoy having her in my life. It's definitely a great blessing and a great positive influence, and I hope you guys can take something away from it. And I'm gonna try and get more women on the interviews, and hopefully, like I said, I can get more. I'm not trying to get more female audience necessarily. I mean, I would love any kind of audience, but I just want to help more people, powerlifting, bodybuilding, fitness related. So whether it's getting more strong women, more influential women, along with the guys, I'm all for it. So anyways, if you have any questions, comments, anyone you want me to try and reach out to an interview, let me know. But this is more for the ladies and to help promote the female side of powerlifting, which I think is growing, and it's doing great, and I hope it continues. And like I said, they get more limelight, and there's just some amazing lifters out there. So pound for pound, I think Susan is stronger than many of the top guys. I think she owns a Wilks of 606, which is just absurd. So enjoy the interview, and I will see you guys later. Bye. Okay, wait a minute. Alright. Hey, what's up guys? Andy here, that huge Asian guy. And today we have a special guest, Miss Susan Salazar. And we are in our office. Susan and I share an office.
It's pretty cool. We're too big for this office. Right?
Yeah, there's too much,
too big.
not enough airflow for all the muscle in here.
It's so hot.
So anyways, I work for Iron Rebel primarily, customer service, and Susan works for Granite Supplements. And so today we're sitting down and getting to know one of the strongest women in the world.
Thanks.
So Susan, can you just introduce yourself and give us some of your best numbers and the world records you've broken, whether they are still existing or not? Yeah.
So I'm Susan Salazar. I'm originally from El Paso, Texas. I'm 41 years old. So, and I've been, I guess, lifting for about 5 years. Some of my best lifts are, let's see, the squat was 462. And this is all the different meets, it's not all.
Yeah.
Okay, so 462 with a squat.
That's reps?
Yes.
Reps.
And then I have 263 bench and the 485 pull. My total, best total, as is now, is still 1196. That's my best total. 132 classic walk. Some of the records I've held, the squat record in sleeves at 123. I currently own the raw record. That's the total, which is I think 1069. It's about to be broken, I'm pretty sure, because girls are getting up there. So that's the only one I currently hold.
That's a 123.
123 raw record. So in sleeves. So it was 1069. So I guess. And that's it. The other ones got broken at the U.S. Open, but not for long. I'm gonna get them back. So,
and what was the name of that? Is she from Russia?
Yeah, Mariana Gaspariana.
Mariana. Okay.
Sorry if I butchered your name. But
Yeah.
yeah, Mariana, she had an amazing squat.
Yeah.
Just an amazing.
Now, had you known about her prior, a lot about her? So you've been following her, keeping an eye on her?
It was weird. Like no one really knew of her.
No.
I mean, because she posted videos and stuff, but mainly they were like. There was articles, but never the video. Because I know she had squatted 440 in her sleeves. So we heard about it, but there was no video. So we're like, what does it exist? Blah blah blah. So we started, and then I just started to like follow her, and we researched, Leo and I, and we finally found like a couple of videos of her doing some meets in Russia, and yeah, she was legit, and so I was following her since then. So yeah.
Wow.
But yeah.
Okay, so. Tell us about growing up in El Paso, your background as far as sports and kind of your upbringing and family and stuff like that.
Okay. So El Paso, as you know, you drove by. It's a really small town, border city. I grew up there. I wasn't born there, born in LA. I grew up there. I played sports in high school. Well, actually in middle school I was in softball as a kid, city league. And then in middle school I did volleyball and ran track. High school, I was actually on the basketball team, and then I also was in the band. I was a drum major, so nobody knows that, but I played the clarinet. So I did that. I was a band geek nerd. But yeah, that's
I played the trumpet till high school. Yeah.
See, I played the clarinet. Yeah. But so I lived there pretty much most of my life, and then I joined the military when I was about 27. Then I was stationed in San Diego, and I've been traveling pretty much on the West Coast.
Which branch in the military?
Navy. I was in the Navy. I was a corpsman for about 6 years, and then so my last duty station was in Hawaii, which is where I met Leo, and pretty much where I started powerlifting.
Right. So were you just there lifting, and you had known her, met her, or?
No, it was actually kind of funny. I was still a bodybuilder at that time,
Yeah.
so I was stationed there competing as a, I guess, figure actually at the time. And then I was at one of the world's gyms out there, and I used to always train by myself, you know, hat low, my headphones in, kind of to myself. I mean, I really didn't know anybody out there. So, and then one day some little short guy, his name's Darren Matsumoto, which was Leo's training partner at the time.
Okay.
He comes up to me, and I'm squatting like 185 with like ace bandages and stuff, like not even like legit reps, right? And so they're basically laughing at me, right? Because they're like, hey, you have a pretty good squat, and it was like that's where it all started. So I kind of started, you know, hanging out with him, you know, as the time went on, and they kind of helped me out ever since. So Leo is still my training partner. So
talk about your first meet. Like, what was that like? What were your numbers?
Oh, okay. So my first meet was actually a deadlift only.
Okay.
In Hawaii, it was a Metro meet, I believe. And I was actually in gear. I had a deadlift suit on.
Okay.
I hated it.
Yeah.
It was the worst thing ever. I was actually worse in it than without. So I think I pulled like 360 something at the time, and it was sumo too, because I'm not a sumo puller.
No.
But in the suit, you know, Leo taught me how to do it, but I hated it. It was just a torture to get into it, and so I think I still remember it was a Centurion suit. So it was like I just hated it pretty much. And then after that, I did a full meet in April the next year. I think that was in 2010. I can't remember. But so my full meet, I totaled 804, I believe. Which was, I squatted with nothing, bare knees. And I don't remember my numbers, but I totaled 804 for my first.
Okay, cool. Now, so you mentioned your bodybuilding, so let's go back to that. How did you start that, and what did you start out as, and how did you?
I started as figure in El Paso. There was some local little meets. I was a personal trainer at a little, it's called EP Fitness, a small little gym there. And then some guy was like, hey, you want to do this thing where you're up on stage with a bikini? And I'm like, I was shy. I don't, you know. And I said, yeah, I guess. And he's like, what do I got to do? And he's like, well, you got to train. You got to get more muscular. And I'm like, okay, cool. So, and at that time, I was always into bodybuilding. Since I was a kid, my dad had like Arnold Schwarzenegger magazines and stuff. So I liked like the muscle. I just didn't know women could do it. And then, so once I started preparing, I guess, because the guy, my friend, he was helping me at the time for that show, I started researching girls who competed at the time. I saw Corey Everson, which is my favorite bodybuilder, and so I just started from there. I did it. I think my first show was 2003.
Okay.
I got second.
Nice.
So, but it was good. It was a fun meet, and I've been doing it ever since. It felt
okay. So when was your last, I guess, bodybuilding competition?
Oh my gosh, I don't even remember. Okay, my last show was, oh my gosh, I think 2000, not this year, but the year before.
15.
I think the last one was the Phoenix Europa.
Okay.
Yeah, the Phoenix Europa. I placed sixth, and that was women's physique.
Okay, cool. So with your background in bodybuilding and just lifting in general, how do you think all that helped with your powerlifting?
A lot. It's my foundation. Literally, I think that's where I got my strength, my strength and my technique from. You know, and then the dieting part. Of course, you have to pretty much eat clean year round, and so that helps me. I think cut weight and stuff. Because I can only cut like 15, 16 pounds.
Yeah.
So
I think for me, bodybuilding, number one, it's the discipline.
Yeah, for sure.
Day in, day out.
Yeah.
You know, your routine.
Yeah.
You're always planning things, right? So,
for sure.
And then, but I think too, like, because of the foundation and we know how to use muscles, feel muscles, activate them. When we teach people, we can teach them how to use that, how to activate that. Whereas someone without that background, even as a good coach, it's hard to cue or help people, you know, get that stuff.
Totally agree.
Yeah. So speaking of coaching, what kind of like programming or principles have you followed throughout your career?
With Leo, we did the conjugate stuff
yeah.
from the very beginning, and I actually just toyed with the small off squat junior, the small off junior program for the squat, and I do a lot of my bodybuilding accessories. So it's kind of like a morph of everything,
Yeah.
But pretty much it's conjugate.
Yeah.
I'll go back to that on my prep.
Okay. And what are you prepping for next?
The Anaheim Fit Expo.
Yeah, and that's 12
August,
weeks?
No, August 26th.
So it's 12 weeks?
Oh yeah, about 12 weeks.
12 weeks,
Yeah,
okay.
a little over 12 weeks.
Alright. So let's talk about, so you've obviously been in, I mean, 5-6 years for powerlifting is kind of a long time.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah,
I feel because Leo's been competing
Yeah, that's
17
true.
years.
But I would say in the last 3 years it's been a huge shift, right?
For sure, yeah.
So what do you think about the current state of powerlifting versus the old one, and what do you like or dislike about it?
Well, I mean, I love powerlifting, period.
Yeah.
I love the sport. I fell in love with
I mean, you're a judge
yeah.
too, right?
Yeah, I'm a judge. So I want to try to always give back
Yeah.
to the sport, make it grow and stuff. And speaking of that, one of the things that I don't like is a lot of women don't get enough, I guess, not.
Alright, so here we are, part 2, because my camera ran out of camera ran out of battery, and I didn't bring it today, but we have some free time, so we're going to finish up part 2. Last question we left off was talked about how long you've been in the powerlifting industry or community, and you've seen lots of change in the last 3 to 5 years.
Yeah.
And what do you like about it? What don't you like about it? And what do you see trending?
Okay. As far as like the biggest change is really just women in general. There's more women who are powerlifting now. I mean, when I started, there was like a handful of women, like maybe one flight, half a flight probably. So and now like literally we have like days,
A whole day
like a
for it.
whole day. The USPA
Yeah.
for nationals has a whole day. 2 platforms, I believe. So that's one of the biggest things that I think has changed. Unfortunately, not that I don't like about it, but what I feel should change is that like some of the bigger companies, they don't represent women enough. I know they
Yeah.
do. I just feel that they should be like more spotlighted, more headlined on certain meets. I know there are a few meets like Laura Phelps. She has a women's program, which is really good. I think if we have more things like that, more women's seminars, more, like I said, I think maybe more sponsorships for women. Just to be honest with you, I think the bigger companies should sponsor more women.
So kind of like what CrossFit does. That
Yeah.
You have a little bigger
Yeah, definitely.
sponsorship for women. Yeah.
Yeah, because other than CrossFit, most women's sports don't really get the highlight. They don't really, you know what I mean? And I
Right.
think that should be like powerlifting. I mean, we're growing so rapidly. Why can't
Yeah.
we, do that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't see anything wrong with, especially with the growth of
Right.
more female lifters and all that. You should cater to that side of the sport
Right.
too. But what do you see happening in the next few years?
Man,
What are some trends?
Take over.
Take over?
Wow, some of the trends. I mean, it's like.
Good or bad?
No, it's good. I mean, I think just in general, like I want powerlifting as a sport to be like on TV.
Right.
As a sport, like you know what I mean. Like I don't know if any of the big networks would pick us up, but something like that, ESPN or something like
Right.
that, or I don't know about the Olympics. Maybe that's too far fetched, but I mean, just something like that. I really definitely, I think more, the more lifters get involved, the more we can like have an impact and probably just get more showcased and whatever.
Okay.
Just in general.
So, talk about more and more women joining. What do you think? Maybe not just females, but just beginner lifters. What do you think they should focus on the most, or the 3 things they should focus on most when they first start lifting?
Technique, number one is technique. Mobility. One of the things that I know I've missed in being a bodybuilder, well, we don't really stretch. We don't do any of that stuff. We
Right.
all want to be compact and tight. Technique, mobility would be the second one. Maybe the third thing would probably be more bodybuilding based. I know everyone's actually starting to do a lot of more exercising and their accessories are bodybuilding accessories, but I just think that should be like the foundation of all the new lifters, because everybody wants to come in and just squat, bench, and deadlift, but they
Right.
forget about the accessories,
Yeah.
or they don't do enough, or they don't change it up, or they hit a plateau and it's just kind of like, I'm just gonna go back to the main 3 lifts because the bodybuilding is important. That's what I've
Right.
heard. So, but yeah, pretty much, yeah, just technique, the mobility and the bodybuilding accessories.
Okay. Now, what do you think? So on one side, you hear a lot of beginners. They're always, I guess, intimidated to compete. They're always, I'm not strong enough, or blah blah blah, or I need to cut weight because there's strong people here. What do you think about that mentality?
First of all, I have a lot of people tell me that, oh, I'm gonna wait till I hit this total to step on the platform. There is no set total. I mean, if you're a newbie, you should have a baseline, pretty much, and because it is, when you start off, you're competing against yourself. I mean, you'll never get there if you're like shooting so high. You know what I mean? It's just like it's never gonna be good enough. So, I always tell people, just do a meet. That way you have a baseline and grow from there.
Yeah.
That's number one. And what was the second question? I forgot. Sorry. So.
And what was I gonna say? Sorry. So, what do I think about them? Or those who compete too much. What do you think about that?
Competing too much. I mean, I'm not. I'm kind of, I guess, on both ends, because like somebody like G, like
Yeah.
he competes almost all the time, but he's young. He can do it. I actually live by, like, if your time is very limited, you never know. So on his end, I would say compete as much as you can. The younger lifters, try to get a good coach to teach you how to, like, see cycle and peak properly. But then there's people like me. I'm older. Like, I can't do more than 4 meets a year, because like I start aching, and I start plateauing. So it's kind of good and bad. I guess I think I'm for it. It just depends on who you are as a lifter.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. It's individualized.
Right.
You want to compete as much as possible. If you're getting hurt all the time, or you're plateauing, then yeah, you gotta know when to back off. Well, okay, so adding to, or coming off, you're talking about coaching for beginners too. Do you think when they start, should they get a coach, or should they just kind of go through, the journey that me and you have, just lifting because you like it, and you just experience all these things about lifting yourself and making some mistakes, and kind of just getting all those, like, getting all that experience for yourself first?
Well, I think probably I would say try to read first, like, get the basics. But yeah, definitely, I would say get a coach, because nowadays everybody wants everything so fast.
Yeah.
Everything's microwave. Hurry up, we want the total yesterday.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking you can't get there if you're not, being led by somebody who's like has a watchful eye, or who can teach you how to weight cut and all those things that people don't think about. Newbies don't think about that. So yeah, definitely I would say, like, do as much research as you can. Like, read a bunch of programs, the Conjugate, Brandon Lilly's, everybody's. Just read it, and then see which ones fit your lifestyle and what you want to do, and then after that you kind of just find somebody, a coach or somebody that can guide you in the right direction. Not necessarily pay them, but if you can hang out with, like me, the way I learned with Leo. Like, I didn't pay her, but I was in Hawaii and she taught me everything I knew, and I just kind of hung out with her all the time, and so that's kind of how I picked up everything. So.
Yeah. Well, my thoughts on that is, like, there's so much free information and good information out there. Now you have to sort through some of the bad, but there's enough top names that you just search and they have a lot of great information. You just take what you can from all of it.
Each one.
A lot of them will have many similarities.
Yes.
It's all going to come down to what? Consistency and
patience.
Progression.
Yeah.
So if you just keep lifting, keep adding a little bit more each time, and just listen to your body. And if you try a program, give it a shot. Don't jump programs.
Right.
Give it at least 3 months or a full cycle. And then once you've done 1 or 2 different programs, and now you're kind of looking, if you are looking towards competing now, that's where there's aspects about peaking and cycling that just because you have a program, having a coach will help guide you along better. And so you don't necessarily need a coach every meet, every step, but do your own learning, but also, if you want expert opinion, you get rid of all the mistakes that we've learned. Get that out of the way. So, if you can afford it, definitely, but you still need to do a lot of your own research and find out on your own and learn about your own body. So, do you currently offer coaching?
I do. I don't have that many people. I'm not selective. It's just like for my training cycle, I can't handle more than probably 20 or so clients. But I do take people, or because we work 8 to 5, so we really can't. But in Texas, I was actually taking one-on-one people, which I'm way better at that because I can actually fix people's technique.
Yeah.
As far as online coaching, it's hard for me to show them how to fix it, and it's hard. So I'm better on one-on-one. So, but since I'm working 8 to 5, I can't. So online, I only take about 20.
Yeah, that's the same with me. And I'm really picky and all that. And it's just way better to be able to be there instantly and help them fix. And a lot of people are visual, audio, it's just different. They need different cues and different ways of being taught. That's why I also think when we're going back to what we're talking about with coaching and all that, I think going to a seminar, a hands-on seminar, it's a lot cheaper than one-on-one coaching, but you'll still get the hands-on coaching from experts. So before you spend all this money on custom belts and $300 shoes and all this expensive stuff, save that money and use it to a seminar where you can go get hands-on. You're gonna learn so much more in a few hours than you will, learning on your own or anything that your squat shoes can do for you. Seriously.
You don't even know how to use it.
You don't even know how to use it. So, you guys, there's a certain progression, and I think that's what we just want everyone to know is I have had relative success very quickly. I'm sure you had it very
5 years
very quickly.
Still.
But even within your first few years, I'm sure you skyrocketed. So, but you guys have to realize we've been lifting weights for 15 plus years. So we've learned a lot just through that. And powerlifting is just a more directed way of channeling all our lifting experience. So all right, well, let's just go a little off powerlifting training and talk about just yourself. So so now you're living in Anaheim. So besides food prep and training, what do you do outside of
well, I'm pretty
work?
boring. I mean, I just pretty much train. I have my dog. I got a dog I just recently came out.
This is Stevie.
It's Stevie. But no, I try to go to the movies. I do stuff like that. But pretty much I'm a loner. Like I said, training and food prep. Go to the movies. I hang out with my family and my friends sometimes because I have some friends in LA and family, so I go there. But pretty much I'm a loner. I don't do much. It's really my whole lifestyle is powerlifting and bodybuilding. That's all I do. So I mean, my Instagram pretty much is that's it. That's it.
That's okay.
I mean, there's not much else to me.
Well, what do you think? What are your plans down the road? Where do you see yourself in 5-10 years?
Okay. Well, I am a physical therapist assistant, so I just never took my license. So hopefully, like I said, after I'm done with lifting or whatever, because I actually don't want to be done. I want to live till I'm 70. So
right.
Anyway, but in the meantime, I want to kind of focus on getting, finally taking my test, and then being able to, kind of help lifters as well, with the physical therapy side, kind of like mobility walk, right? Something like that, maybe along the lines with the USPA, kind of, go with those coaches seminars and then add my 2 cents about the physical therapy part. So I mean, that's something that I would love to do. That's one of the things that I know like the back of my hand. So definitely somewhere in that direction.
Okay.
Yeah, teaching and stuff.
But so after it's said and done and you're past your prime, you're still gonna live, but the prime.
Oh, my prime. Yeah.
What would you think, or what would you like your legacy, or how people to remember you as?
Oh man.
How would you describe you?
Well, definitely because like the fact what really got me started into this is that a lot of people told me that I couldn't bodybuild and I couldn't powerlift at the same time.
Yeah.
So that was my biggest like motivation at first. So for me, I just basically want to be known for somebody who like went through.
Okay, so the end gets cut off because my phone ran out of storage. But I was talking about or asked her what kind of what she wants to be remembered as. So she wants to be remembered as someone who defied limitations and the negative connotations of someone who could do bodybuilding and powerlifting at the same time. She's definitely broken all barriers in that aspect. But more importantly, I think she'll be remembered, at least in my mind, or here's what I take away from her, as being one of the great ambassadors for the sport, being very positive. You never hear a negative thing about her. She's a ref for the USPA. She's always cheering everybody on. Yeah, I see her judging and she's cheering on the lifters, even when she's judging, when she's not really supposed to. But she's just a great fan of the sport, great ambassador, and I think she'll go down as one of the greatest lifters of all time, but also one of the greatest people, one of the nicest. So that's what I get out of it and what I take away from being with her, like I said. And hope you guys are lucky enough to meet her one day and talk to her. She's definitely down to just say hi and to chat. If you ever see her, don't be afraid to approach her. She's awesome. And so anyways, follow her. Instagram is at super.so2, I think. If not, I will comment on it in my comments. Follow her, and she's actually doing the USPA Nationals, which is going on in this Friday, just days away. She snuck in there at the end. She wants to break her old record, world record at or extend it in sleeves. So look out for that this weekend at Vegas, the USPA Nationals 2017. So cheer her on. I will be there coaching 5 people. It'll be a long weekend because I have somebody all 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I love coaching, but it's a draining, long day, 2 days, 3 days. But I also have some exciting news, which I will share in a different video and post this weekend about what's going on. But anyways, hope you enjoyed it. See you guys later.